to the annual Life on Mars Christmas poker game. Pull up a chair, grab a drink. We'll be getting our hands sorted. Make sure you have your buy-in ready. $1,000 buy-in for the game. All are welcome here. Everybody's money is green. So I'm going to be your host for the card game, Brenton Pyle.
And I'll be your server, Emily. She's not playing, that's for damn sure.
Men only.
Well, no, I'd
It's
win.
such a hard... right, exactly.
You remember Vegas. Who brought you up from being in the hole?
Mm-hmm. That was you. And just like Veronica says, if you guys must be playing, it must be real hard.
Exactly.
We are here to talk about episode 10 in Echolls Family Christmas, which I found to be a very fun episode.
Yes, it is. It plays with all of my favorite themes. Santa, heat miser, pretending to drink but not actually doing it. All of the things I've done.
Really is you in a nutshell. Christmas.
Mocktails.
Exactly. Servants decorating Christmas for you.
Exactly.
But yeah, what did you think of it?
I mean, I think it really highlights the class war they have going on. It makes me wonder how long they know the kid that ended up stealing the money. We can dig more into that later because I have a lot of questions about how they didn't know any of this.
Right. Like, that at least he's very good at pretending to be someone else.
And how other people in that town didn't know.
Yeah, that's true, right? Like
Small
it seems
town. If we're talking about Veronica, why aren't we talking about this kid?
Yeah, that seems like that'd be pretty... Yeah, the kid who shoplifts and is the butler's son.
Mm-hmm. He's not even very good at it.
No, he gets caught all the time.
What did you think?
No, I really like this episode. It's the card game is the really fun part of like trying to figure out what happened, and the different points of perspective are always fun.
Yes.
And the Echolls family stuff is just sleazy enough to be like the kind of sleazy kind of fun. And you know, I always like Keith interacting with these people because he deals with people one-on-one as individuals, but like without really like...
He doesn't show his judgment.
Exactly, yeah.
He keeps it under wraps.
Mm-hmm. I don't have my notes with me, but what I remember writing when Lynn walks in is like, it's like, oh right, of course they would know each other. Like their kids interacted.
My first note is heat and cold miser. A Year Without a Santa? ? Because I was trying to remember which claymation film that was from.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have, this is the first episode where Duncan's actually fun.
You're right.
His character improves significantly from the point we find out that he's potentially her brother.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, that's actually... He's becoming a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. His singing, though, oh my God, of course. Duncan ruining the Heat Miser song.
Well, yeah, he's drunk on iced tea, BB.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's hilarious that no one would notice that he doesn't smell like Jack Daniels.
My favorite thing about
But I
that,
guess high school, right?
too, is when Veronica crashes that and she chugs it, is Weevil's just, like, not surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's
just
like,
yeah.
He's like, okay, Veronica, like, you do you.
Oh, this is a great Weevil episode.
It is.
But yeah, so there's the Mars family Christmas, decorating the Christmas tree, watching A Year Without a Santa.
With the Padres ornament.
Exactly.
They have to balance them out.
Another thing I remember writing on my notes, Padres reference. We are in San Diego. Yes, that was an exclamation mark. We get excited for these things. San Diego sports.
Yeah, that Keith's religion is his baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
That you've never heard him talk about before.
No, he's talked about the Padres before.
Oh, well, I don't listen when people talk about sports. Is it obvious?
Yeah. No one talks about the Padres anyway. I mean, even in San Diego, it's just kind of like, well, this is a fun activity to do. There are Padres fans.
Uh-huh. Like you.
Yeah, and people that live in San Diego because it's like, ooh, Petco Park's nice, which it is. It's a really nice baseball stadium, but we were good. We lost in the World Series in '97, and then we were okay in the mid 2000s, like close to winning divisions, and then we just, I stopped paying attention, and I'm pretty sure we've just been god awful.
You know what is so interesting about men?
What?
When they talk about sports teams, it's a we.
Mm-hmm.
You're not on the fucking team. You don't play the sport. But as soon as you make an accomplishment, even if it's with a team, not you in particular, but men in general, it's I. It's always, if you do something, it's I. And if someone else does something, it's we. You take the credit for all of it.
Well, I'm not saying I played for the Padres, but I did say that in my last career as a junior baseball, I did play for a team named the Padres. So
we won't talk about any of your other baseball stories. We'll save that for another episode.
And I'm pretty sure we came in last. Well, that was the year. Yeah, no,
was that the year of Poogate?
No, it wasn't. That was a different team. What was that team? I'm pretty sure we had red hats that year, so maybe we were the Cardinals that year. The baseball teams were all based off real baseball teams.
Yeah, that's how
except
all
for my
little kid leagues do it, except for the baby ones. Like my cousins are on like the Giants or the Dodgers or whatever.
It's funny, that seems to be only baseball, because like I don't think Pee Wee football did that, and I know basketball never did that.
Pee Wee football, I think, copied local high schools because they had the high schools come train with them.
Oh, that makes sense. So it'd be like the Bulldogs or Bullpups.
Bullpups. No, I'm sorry.
Apologies.
Back it up. We aren't even good enough to be a mini Fresno State.
There you go. Or in Neptune, it'd be the Pirates.
Yeah.
Or in real life, the Oceanside Pirates.
Okay, so back to this. So
yes.
Duncan's pretending to be drunk.
I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm drunk as tits.
And then Weevil wins the poker game because he joined when he heard about it, because he was like, these guys can't be good at poker. And I feel like Weevil can count cards. Yeah. Because that's what it's insinuating, right? Is that he knew he was going to win with his pair of twos.
So poker, you can't count cards.
Oh.
That's blackjack.
Well, I've never played poker.
Right. But I agreed with Weevil's sentiment of like, yeah, I could probably beat these guys at poker. Because a lot of it is bluffing. Like the majority of poker is like knowing your odds to win, which he gets lucky in that hand, and being able to bluff if you think it's a bluff into other people into thinking that you do have a really good hand. So it's a lot of mind games, which like we would be like, of course, I can run laps around these kids.
Yeah. I feel like if I had started playing poker at a young age, it would be a problem now because I loved mind games.
Yeah, I'm sure. I enjoyed playing with friends, except when it got too serious. And I could never play at a casino because then I have to play. Then it's like serious, and it's like with blackjack, it's just like, yeah, you just let it go, and then you go standard hit, and everybody's playing with themselves for the most part. It's a very masturbatory game.
Anyway,
much like my Padre statements.
Well, and I mean, even with blackjack, I brought you up, so
exactly.
Masturbating doesn't get.
I only bring my exactly. Yeah. If I've learned one thing about playing blackjack with myself, is I always lose.
I just wanted to drink a Cosmo at the Cosmo, so I had to be by the table, and then
right.
They brought me a fucking lemon drop. It's okay though.
Good times.
Mm-hmm. That's how we met.
Yeah. So Weevil wins the $5,000 pot, which is there's 6 people playing, right? Weevil and then 5 guys. Logan.
No, there's
it's 4.
There's 5 of them. They each put in $1,000. That's why it's a $5,000 pot.
Makes sense. Counting.
Brenton does not count.
This is why I don't play poker, right? There's odds involved, and I can't even count to 5.
But then the money's gone, and so Weevil strip searches them.
Yeah,
which is my favorite thing because Logan and Duncan have matching Christmas boxers. And I was like, what a bromance.
And I can 100% see Logan being like, hey man, Merry Christmas, isn't this funny, ha ha ha, like, but making a joke about getting these boxers, but like really, like, in the store, I was probably like, oh, it would be great for Duncan and I, wouldn't it be like a laugh, ha ha ha.
Can't wait to show everyone our butts.
And our reindeers.
And I think it's supposed to like really harp on how good of friends they are, so that then when they fight, it's like, see, they have to make up, they have matching undies. Which, as a woman, if I had to be friends with everyone who had the same underwear I did, I would have a very big clique.
Yeah, same with me. It'd be everybody who shops at Kohl's.
Mine would be people who used to shop at Victoria's Secret and now don't know where to shop because they're mad at Victoria's Secret because they body shame, but you're running out of undies.
Yeah, that is tough.
It is. It's hard out here.
Luckily, there's no Kohl's Angels, so I don't have any problems there.
So then, because they lose everything, or the money's gone, Weevil doesn't really get to search the house as much as he wants because, you know, he's worried that they'll call the cops because they're racist. Specifically Logan, but the whole crew.
Yeah.
No one except for the one kid who's an actor.
Right. And even then, he's like, it's like that.
It's like, you've been racist 5 times. Stop it already.
Right. But at the same time, it's like the thing that I've 100% been guilty of in the past, that like
passive.
Exactly. Yeah. Or that there's still, it's like, no, I get this person. He's like real, you know, when he says that it's like, okay, like he's still like tokenizing, but like trying to like come to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, you know, I've 100% been guilty of in the past for sure.
But so then Weevil starts stealing shit from them to make up his $5,000, which is my favorite thing because duh.
Yeah, exactly.
And
what are they going to do?
And when he steals Duncan's computer, Veronica's like, well, Duncan, when you lie with the dogs, you're going to get fleas. And he's like, I didn't even invite Weevil. And she's like, that's not what I'm talking about. And I was very happy they made that distinction because I was worried for a second.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a writer's room that's at least more conscious of race relations in Neptune this episode.
Yes, thank God. But then he's like, well, you should worry about it because I kept a journal on my computer with all of the details of our romance.
Yeah.
And it's like, they didn't even have sex. Like, what could possibly be on there?
So I wrote that down too, of like what could possibly be it?
Also, would Weevil ever share Veronica's dirty laundry? No, because he needs her.
Yeah. He respects her.
Yeah. He knows that if you mess with Veronica, you might not win.
Right. And what does that say about Veronica not trusting that Weevil wouldn't let it go?
Well, I think she's worried about the whole group. But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think she doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
She's hard-boiled.
Yeah.
Just like eggs.
Yep. That's why the fandom's called Eggs.
Eggheads.
But so I was thinking about, I wrote that down, like what could it possibly be? But it's like, oh, even if they didn't have sex, like there still could be like, you know, she gave me a blowjob or something. And in high school, that is 100% like a WMD. It'll take you a minute to.
Well, it was just the timing of a WMD, and then when the show came out, and I was just thinking, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the statue probably fell around this time.
Oh God.
Mission accomplished.
Anyway.
And we're still there.
Enough about an endless war.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, never enough about an endless war. But this isn't our protest podcast. No. We'll meet you guys over there.
Yeah. All right. Now that all the Veronica Mars people have left, politics.
with Pyle.
Politics.
Anyway, so then Veronica goes into Weevil because she's like, I need to get this computer back because I don't know what's on here. And I don't know. And also, I guess at one point you are kind of like Duncan might have lied in his diary to make himself feel good.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he could be writing smut.
Or he could be writing about wanting to do things with Veronica.
Right. But
then that's his problem.
Yeah. It would still be his problem, but it would still 100% come back around to her, and he would, whatever sentence of high school purgatory of people making fun of her would last a lot longer than him.
Isn't all high school purgatory?
It is, man.
That's what I told my doctor in high school, and they asked me if I needed mental health assistance.
Boy.
Like, how's high school? And I was like, it's purgatory. I'm just waiting to go to college. And they're like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah.
That's the
Who enjoys high school? I mean, like, it was fine, but,
Yeah.
like,
I know a few people.
I mean, they peaked there. Anyway, enough
Also, I
about
want to
that.
apologize to the Veronica Mars fans. I'm sure everybody else is very into politics. I'm going to make that note right here.
Oh, God, he's spiraling.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, please.
Oh, God. Anyway, so then Veronica walks in, and
People, please, not guys. Ah!
God, he's sexist. He's offensive.
I know.
He's insinuating that you guys aren't into politics.
I know.
It's okay. We forgive him.
Apologize, everybody.
It's okay. You're a white man. You're doing what you can. Just
Exactly.
making a mess.
They're real, you know?
I mean, everyone loves Duncan and Logan, so
That's true.
there's something lovable about you.
Thank you.
Just something.
You can find my inner art.
So Veronica walks into the room and she's like, Weevil, and she tilts her head. And
Yeah, and they're playing dice in an empty classroom. It's like, all right.
But the classroom where they did the poetry thing, because it's the one at the beanbags.
Exactly. But also at the same time, it's like, I did give them props for understanding at least a little bit of race relations a second ago. I take that back a little bit by having all the Mexican members
It's like
or Latin
guys
members.
and dolls.
Right, exactly.
Craps.
Mm-hmm.
Craps. Craps.
Yeah.
You've never seen Guys and Dolls, have you?
No. Take your word for it.
But he's like, that head tilt, when you do that head tilt, no, you want something or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, some of us have always done that.
Right. Just regardless.
Yeah, it's how we get what we want.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What did she says something else of like, if I flip my hair too, like,
Oh, then you'll be weak. Or like, I've got you behind the knees, or, something like that. Like, I knock you down.
Uh-huh. Right. It's like, yeah, you guys are count
Got
yourself
you
lucky.
behind the knees.
That made me think of benching. It's very fun to do that, except when someone like just sat on you and you were the bench.
What?
Do you remember benching?
No.
Oh, okay. So what you would do is, this isn't in like elementary school. One person would like get behind someone else, like crouch down, like almost like a
Like on all fours?
yeah. So they would be like at like knee level behind someone, and then someone would come up and push them over you. So then they'd fall back, and they wouldn't expect someone behind them. So then they fall on the ground. So sometimes people didn't fall, and they would just like land on you, and then you'd be like, oh,
Me as fuck.
yeah.
Just sitting.
Yeah, it's like those times when I was a kid where it's like, yes, this is a really good idea. I'm going to do it. Anxiety out the window. I'm so sure about doing this. And then someone sits on you.
In my high school youth group for getting confirmed in that Catholicism thing, we played some sort of game where you had to like find different groups of people. It's basically like a musical chairs, but with like people. Does that make sense? So like, and they yelled out a pose. And so one pose involved 2 people and one pose involved like for 3 or 4.
Oh.
And these people that were so against premarital
Pose.
sex, one of them was
Pose.
like, a guy had to get on one knee and then you had to sit on their leg.
Mm.
And there's this guy, I mean, like I knew him from elementary school and like high school. And so he'd always grab me because he's like, you're small, because he was on the football team and had a bad knee. And he didn't want anyone heavy to sit on him.
Oh, my God.
Not in terms of like there was anyone like big in the group, but he was just
Right.
like, you're really, because I'm like 5 feet tall. He was like, you're super fucking tiny, like it won't hurt.
Oh, God. Poor kid.
I always remember dying laughing because I was like, why are we playing this game? And we always won because I was always getting picked.
Oh, God. Poor dude.
I know. But anyway, so.
Did I one addendum to that? Did I ever tell you about the confirmation camp and the skit they did to like Total Eclipse of the Heart?
No, I went to Steubenville, so.
Oh, okay. So ours was, I forget where it was at. But it was a confirmation camp. We had to go to that for a weekend before we got confirmation.
It wasn't at USD?
Mm-mm.
It wasn't that big one?
No, it wasn't. It was like just our church.
God.
And it was like a sleepaway camp. And they did this weird skit by the people that were put on there. So it was like a bunch of people like facing like toward a wall. And then so their backs are to the audience, like sitting down,
Mm-hmm.
and then set to Total Eclipse of the Heart. So it's like turn around every now and then, like as someone's going down line by line and turning everybody around.
Oh God.
And then the last person had like this like horrifying mask on or something and like screamed, and then the person like who spun it around like fell to the floor. I have no idea what it was for, but like it freaked like a bunch of people out. It was like, oh my God. So that's what I think of every time I hear Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh God. No, when I did mine in Steubenville, we had people speak in tongues.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing you ever told me.
I don't understand it. Like, I mean, and then they're so like anti like tarot cards or anything like that, and I'm like, you people yelling in a language that's not real. What exactly are you mad about?
Exactly. It's speaking in tongues is crazy and scary to me.
Well, anyway, okay, so back to our good friend Weevil.
Mm-hmm.
So Veronica's like, I'm gonna help you, and Weevil's like, I don't need your help, and then he's like, just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll take your help.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, hey, you don't need to worry about me. Maybe check on in these other guys. Maybe get them to figure out what happened.
And so then we get Weevil's retelling of the story, which is when Duncan is drunk and has his nose in the window to look at Logan's mom.
Logan's mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Logan's mom goes to go swimming in her pool in winter because they live in San Diego and the pool is heated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the boys go to the window and stick their nose to it, except for Logan, obviously. And Duncan is pretending to be drunk, so he does piggy nose against the glass, and it made me laugh so hard. Like, I don't know why. I was just like, ink, ink, ink in my head.
Right. Great choice on the part of Teddy.
Exactly. And then we go to the scene where Mrs. Echolls is going to see Keith.
Yes.
So then, after Veronica gets that story from Weevil, we jump to Keith, and Keith is sitting in his office, and an oily-legged lady walks in.
I was going to say, this is classic PI stuff.
This is like the shiniest legs I've ever seen.
The dame walked in, legs all the way to the floor. I don't know.
Where do your legs go?
About half inch above. I'm subtly floating.
Legs all the way to the floor.
That's why I don't write detective fiction.
Yeah, maybe stay away from that.
She had oily legs.
It's like when you read those things and it's like descriptions of women written by men. It's like her breasts were round or something like that. And you're like, no shit. She had 2 lumps on her chest that were breasts.
Her breasts bobbed like apples at a state fair.
Oh God. And she's like, Keith, and he's like, what was her name? Lynn. Lost my whole train of thought when I forgot her name. And then I was like, why the fuck do they know each other? And then I was like, oh yeah, because all the kids used to be friends.
Yeah, they even says, he's like, well, yeah, our
now that the kids, and she's like, yeah, the kids had a falling out. Like, Logan had a really hard time with the death of Lily, and he's like, yeah, so did Veronica.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have done something together.
Right.
But your son's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need to say that. She probably knows.
But I was like, oh, his mom seems so nice about Veronica. Like, she doesn't care. Like, she's not like, oh, I don't like her or whatever.
Her worst quality seems to be vanity. Which we can roll with. Yeah. We
like that. And then...
And also thinking of people as the help.
Yes. She's got some class issues for sure.
Yeah.
But
she's like school in summer.
Oh my God.
No class. I stole that from Scrubs. Except on that show, Turk delivers it like serious, and then there's like a dour music note afterwards where like JD looks down at the ground.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Well, anyway,
unintentionally.
This isn't a Scrubs podcast.
In this essay, I will.
And then she's like, hey, we've got a stalker, and now we've got a note on the table, the kitchen table, or the island, or granite countertops, or whatever the fuck they have in that house. Right. Limestone. I don't know what's nicer.
I'd say probably. Oh, yeah, I don't know either.
I know nothing.
Yeah. See, look at me running to come in. Actually,
Upper middle class
sprinting
white
to the
boy.
microphone. Yeah. I don't know, but
Oh God. And so then Keith is like, "Can you give me some of the old notes? I want to see if this is someone else, or if it's someone who's already written you some scary notes, or if it's the same person or a new person." And then the next note I have is puka shell necklace, which is about Logan, but I don't know what happened.
yeah, it's Veronica.
Oh, questioning Logan.
Yeah, well, no, Veronica talks to Duncan,
Oh yeah.
and he gives his side of the story, which is I'm trying to remember.
That Logan's friend was basically bullying Logan.
Yeah,
Not bullying.
no,
But
well,
like teasing him.
that was Logan's side of the story,
Oh.
and then Duncan's, I think, is the pizza delivery.
Does-
Yeah.
I don't remember Duncan really giving a retelling.
Okay.
Maybe Logan's has the pizza delivery with Duncan figuring out the math.
Yeah, and then his brother, not brother, his pseudo brother, giving him crap.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Connor.
puka shell necklace, I think, is when Duncan is just like, "Why you gotta be such an asshole, Logan?" Because Logan's being an ass at lunch.
Oh, yeah, because of the whole thing.
Right.
Boys and their feelings.
Exactly. He's got his feelings hurt and his laptop stolen.
Yeah, so that's that must be from Duncan's, because then Veronica goes to Logan's house
Yes,
to drop off the paperwork for his mom to sign, and goes into the pool house and notices that it's ransacked.
Oh wait, but before that, Keith takes a visit to the house.
Oh yeah. And he's like, "Hey, you might not want to have a party because like it seems like this person is."
Mm-hmm. And then he talks, and then Aaron comes home, and Aaron's like, "I don't know what my wife is all worked up about." And I wrote down, especially in the tennis scene, I'm like, they're really good at making just Aaron look like the biggest douchebag of all time. But then he opens up the door, and there's his pumpkin, his face carved into a pumpkin with a knife in it.
Which is the best carved pumpkin I've ever seen, and I
know.
used to watch HGTV a lot.
Well, that's why she's making the big bucks carving pumpkins at a station.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, Martha Stewart, she's jealous.
Oh yeah,
She's quaking in her boots. Quaking in her Louboutins. I don't know if Martha Stewart wears Louboutins. Why not, though? She's rich.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably, Jesus.
I was like, oh, what do you know about Martha?
She's a K-Swiss gal.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Martha.
She goes for comfort.
So then Veronica goes by Logan's house and drops off the paperwork for Lynn, and is like checking in with Logan because she's trying to get his side of the story, because she's like, hey, what's haps? You know, what happened here? And it looks like the pool house had been robbed.
Right. Uh-huh.
I'm like, what a white boy ransack.
Right. And he's just like, whatever, and leaves it.
And then he's like, oh, well, like trying to egg her on about investigating, but he wants to know who did it too.
Yeah, totally.
And my notes from this were that he's really helpful when he wants to be. So like he gets her on set to talk to Connor because they want to figure out who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also that their chemistry is palpable.
Oh yeah.
Even in the scene, like just the two of them as actors, you're just like, oh, I get it. Like this is why the fans wanted this.
Yeah, totally.
It's that cat and mouse, that like push and pull, that you're just like, ooh, like sparring partner.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Whereas like if I in real life had a sparring partner, they would end up dead.
Right. This kind of stuff usually only works on TV.
Exactly. And it's one of those things that like when you watch things as a kid, you're just like, ooh, like I want a relationship like that. Or I think of like Logan and Rory from Gilmore Girls. It's like,
right. But then you get when you have those people that spar all the time, it's like those people are arguing all the time. Yes.
Which is the one thing I'll say for Logan and Rory that they taper down on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's like that mental match.
Oh yeah.
But so then from there, Veronica's gonna go out to see Connor.
Yes.
But is this then where Keith hangs out with Aaron Eccles?
Believe so.
and he's playing tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, anything you want to say in front of me, you can say in front of my tennis partner. Which is the weirdest fucking thing. And so then he's like, are you having affairs, basically? And Aaron's like, how dare you ask? But no. But he is.
Right.
So then they ask the event planner, because caterers and event planners know all.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get the facts? Ask
like,
the highest paid help.
She's like, I can't say anything, but we had to fire someone because, saw someone up there with Aaron.
And then he had slept with like everyone at the party.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did you have sex 5 times in one night?
Apparently, right.
How long were you at this party?
Yep. I don't know.
Got a lot of questions.
Exactly. He's a machine. Adultery machine.
Then Keith has him come in and he has him circle who he slept with at the party on the sheet. That's the last thing I have about that. Do you have anything else about that?
No, yep. And it just happens to be 3 women that are all in the same picture. And then more that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the visit to set.
Yes.
And Connor's glistening abs, which I feel like he didn't really have abs.
Yeah, I was kind of like, he's fit.
Yeah. But they kind of talk him up a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, Connor.
Also, do you remember what this guy's I remembered where this actor was from that I knew. It was he played Subway in Community.
Oh my God!
He's the personification of Subway.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, now I want Subway.
Really?
I used to love Subway.
Mm.
As a vegetarian in high school, it was a safe place to get lunch. You can get their veggie melt.
Oh,
And then you can pick exactly what you want on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Allergen-wise, I have no idea if they're safe anymore. But at the time, it was fine. I didn't die.
Right. Yeah, who knows where they source their bread from and everything.
I
But I mean, everything, they change gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's kept separate. I feel like it's probably pretty good.
I used to really like, they had one type of bread that was like a cheese something bread. Or I don't remember. I used to eat it in college even. Me and Doug were at the Subway.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
But so...
You get Connor's recollection of it.
Yeah, we get Connor's recollection of the story. And what was it that was different about his?
Was his the pizza?
Yeah, I think his might have been the pizza and the tip. It was Duncan figuring out the tip.
The tip. Yeah.
His Duncan's like, whoa, guys, like, if you're going to pay this much, like, then
This
we need
little.
to give a bigger tip because that was like a $60 bill. And then Weevil's the one who gives the tip. And that's why he's like, yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. He's real, you know?
He's real, you know? And I'm like, yeah, he's real. You're all fucking real.
That's right.
Except for you.
Well, yeah, because he's drinking the poo tea.
Yeah, and you find out that he's drinking tea to keep himself skinny for his shoots. And that's why the entire game he kept getting up to go to the party.
Yeah, so was the phone call just...
It was just his pager from his agent.
Right, okay. And then he would just be like, oh...
I'm going to go check this, and then he'd go poo.
Okay, that makes sense.
So then the next note I have is about Wallace and Veronica sitting at the school.
Yeah, okay.
Is there anything in between there?
I think... No, yeah, I think you're right there.
So then we get to the high school, and Veronica's sitting, staring into space at the O-Niners, thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And Wallace comes up and says, and he's like Earth to Veronica, or something like that. And she's like, oh, I was just zoning out. And he's like that mind ever takes a break.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was really good.
That one, and at the very beginning where she's like, I'd make a great rich person.
Uh-huh.
I was like, me too, bitch. Me too. I would make a great rich person.
What is she? The right amount of frivolous and...
generosity or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm like, donate a certain amount. Buy some weird shit.
Right.
Have some fun.
And is that where she figures out, like, oh, because she had, before this scene, she had visited Sean's house and got turned away at the door.
Because he's not allowed to take guests at home.
Right. And then, so that's when she talks to Logan about hosting another game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the day of his mother's party.
And she's like, I guess that means we don't need to bring our own drinks.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's no BYOB. And one thing we missed before this too was Keith doing investigating, stopping by Aaron's agent wife, who I was like, she should be the agent.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she seems so much better than this other guy who, seething hatred for each other.
Which, I mean, of course, a woman could do her husband's job better than he could.
Yeah, totally.
But she'd make less, so what's the point in working?
I guess so. But she seemed like the type of person that would, get shit done.
Yeah, but when people offer you less money because of your genitalia, it doesn't really matter how good of a get shit doner you are.
But I feel like you could negotiate. She would be able to negotiate a better contract with people. Getting those bonus, you know what I mean?
So much harder in general, even if you're the better employee as a woman, to negotiate to make the same amount as a man.
Yeah, getcha. Okay. I'm talking about, like, the money at the back end off, like, the people that she represents.
Maybe, but if he's willing to sleep with 5 women in a night, something tells me that he's not going to pay women more than men.
Yeah, not the greatest feminist or anything.
No. Not saying that, like, if everyone's consenting and they're having a good time, you can fuck who you want. But
Oh, yeah.
But, be careful.
Very careful. Might end up with a pumpkin.
Yep. So then Veronica's like, yeah, Logan, you're going to host a game. I'm going to take over for whoever's losing. And they're like, do you even know how to play poker? And she's like, well, if you guys play it, it must be awfully hard.
Which is great.
And Duncan's the only one in that scene who looks scared. Because he knows.
Right. He's like, oh, shit.
And Weevil knows what's going to happen. Like, he's not worried. He's just like, whatever. She's got this.
Weevil's like, oh, this is going to be great.
And so then they go to the pool house for the game. And Veronica shows up.
Right.
And she
starts dressing down everybody.
She chugs Duncan's fake booze.
Great way to start.
Yeah, which I was like, well, he was just pretending to be drunk to, like, lower everyone else's expectations of him. I get it.
Yeah, because then even in that first scene, it's like, oh, he's drunk. It's like, well, how is he still winning hands?
Luck. It's all a game of luck. But then she does that. She talks about how the Connor's just drinking poo tea. He didn't steal any of the money.
Nope.
And then she's like, Logan, who, smells like a bad guy, looks like a bad guy, acts like a bad guy, isn't the bad guy this time.
Yep.
And then it was the butler's son.
Bum, bum, bum. Because he's the butler's son and not the main son of the house. I
don't think there is, like, a child their age in that house, or else he would have been caught a lot earlier.
Yeah, totally. And he also has, like, a shoplifting record, or
he's a shoplifter, but he's not very good at it.
No, he'd been caught before.
And so then Veronica's like, okay, I'm gonna jump in, and takes his spot.
Yep.
Explains how he got the money out, and it was by putting it in,
which is pretty crafty,
his beer bottle, so that then it went out with the recycling.
Yeah.
And then he could just go pick it up.
That's, like, honestly, like, pretty sneaky.
And to be drinking a separate type of beer.
Totally. And then Weevil escorts him out.
Weevil takes him on a walk.
Yeah. Go for a walk.
And then Veronica jumps in to play the game, and they show that really awkwardly filmed scene of her shuffling cards. Like,
it like zooms in on her hands.
I'm like, she doesn't work in Vegas. We don't need to see this. And then she starts kicking their ass.
Yeah. It's like, ooh la la.
Oh, look at the girl do the thing.
And then we get some fun scenes of people at the party.
Yeah, so then we take a break and we go inside.
Right. Oh, you know what I wrote about this when we get the scene of the party?
What?
This is how the Mooncalf Collective makes their money. They sold the poinsettias to this party.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice. Didn't notice?
Notice?
Didn't notice at all. I didn't even notice. But we go into the party, and everyone's like, let's grab some food, and Weevil's there with them. And Veronica's like, they're grabbing food, and he's like, don't I blend in? Like, don't I fit in here in his leather jacket? And I'm like, I love.
Oh, so good.
I
Single-handedly favorite part of the episode.
But I
think.
also love that it's not like none of the party guests are worried that he's there either.
No.
So it's like no one else has a race problem except for like Logan and his family.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, really just his
Right.
himself and then his mother with anyone who's the help, regardless of race.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then Veronica's like, "Ooh, I see my potential pa."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Donkey's dad. She's
Thank
like,
you.
"I'm gonna go corner him in an office and ask him some questions."
Yeah, I forgot about this.
So she's like, why did you have Clarence Weedman or whatever his name is?
Yeah, Clarence Weedman.
Really
Really a great like person. Oh, it's Weedman.
exactly. Why was he taking photos of me and why was he stalking me and blah blah blah? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, and plays it cool, which is so strange.
No, he
Because then he leaves and he goes and grabs his wife and is like, we have to go home. What did you do?
and it's like real classy grabbing your wife by the arm.
But also, like, why didn't he be like, I don't, like, it wasn't me, but let me check with my wife. Like, that would be
Right.
a much more normal thing to say than, I don't know what you're talking about, and then immediately leave in a huff.
True. Yeah. Because if he was trying to be sneaky, he's not succeeding. Of like, yeah, I don't know. And it's like, obviously, like, Veronica's going to see you grab your wife by the arm and be like, we're out of here.
Yeah, but whatever. So that happens. Keith sees this happening through a window and is kind of like, whatever, and then sneaks in through the back door because security won't let him in because he's figured out who's after Aaron Echolls, and he's trying to stop them from killing him.
Yes, it's the Carver. It was the help that supposedly saw Aaron having an affair, but was actually having an affair with him
as well.
Exactly. And yes, right. In tandem. And was like, "Oh, you don't even recognize me?" And he's like, "I have no idea who this is. Like, you don't even love me. Like,
you told me you loved me."
Right. Then grabs a knife and stabs him.
No, it's a carving.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's a carving knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Carve this.
As the carolers are then singing outside with the fake snow.
Mm-hmm. And then voiceover of like, Veronica. I was foolish to think that Santa was real because Neptune exists.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
My last notes on this are fake snow, comma, carolers, comma, stabbed Aaron Echolls.
It sounds like a group of carolers arrived with fake snow, threw it at Aaron Echolls, and then stabbed him.
Exactly.
God, it was the Carol massacre.
It was the carolers.
Even worse than when all those carols got killed.
Oh, God. Well, on that note, what'd you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. It's really, really silly and fun.
It is. It's a lot. But also, when Veronica hands her plate to Weevil, she never comes back to take it from him.
Yeah, right. Poor
what
Weevil.
does he just do with it?
Right. Oh, yeah, then he's got the full hands and he turns to the guy and he's like, "You're killing me, man."
Yeah, the server that walks by with more canapes.
Yep.
I get it.
Ooh, canapes.
Canapes.
That sounds lovely. Ooh, I'll take another. Thank you.
Oh, is that what you're...
Yeah, exactly.
You can have tuna tartare and canapes?
Yes.
Chicken satay? I can't eat chicken satay
And,
because it's got peanut.
The pigs in a blanket.
That's what you want, the pigs in a blanket?
Yeah, I'd love one.
That's what you've got behind you.
Oh, yeah. He's not in a blanket, though.
He's on a blanket.
That's true.
There's a
Pig on a blanket.
There's a corgi on a blanket, but it's a hog.
Sorry, hitting the microphone. Yeah, this was a fun one, especially after how last week's was boring. This is a little more lively.
How last week's was boring.
It was.
I mean, it is. It just doesn't contribute to like the major plot.
Yeah, that's true. But even I don't know. There wasn't as much going on as like the fun card game like this week. Which
True. You just like the card game.
Yes, specifically Veronica figuring it all out, and then there's just something fun about like we're gonna bring everybody back, and then one by one I'm gonna be like, not you, and then also like expose like a shameful secret.
True.
So yeah, next week's episode is Silence of the Lamb.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I don't either.
Oh wait, is it like no, it can't be Halloween because that would be moving backwards in our timeline.
So Keith and Sheriff Lamb work on a case together.
I
I'm looking
forgot
at the
about Sheriff
synopsis
Liam.
right now.
We haven't had a lot of him yet.
I thought he was in this more, to be honest. Like when
You
we're
just-
going back through.
I think when he does show up, he's in so much, and we just hate him so much.
Yeah, he's really good at being a major PETA.
PETA?
Pain in the ass.
I know, but
What you were expecting, dickhead or something?
I just like PETA. Like that's just. I mean, my grandma used to say that. She'd be like, "You're a PIA."
I like that.
Well, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Are we PIs or PIAs? You let us know.
Exactly.
Send us an email.
MarsRewatch@gmail.com and at Mars Rewatch on Twitter and Facebook.
And then you can find me at butreallythoughblog.com, though spelled THO, on Instagram at butreallythoughblog _ and then on TikTok at Emily Brewski. And you can find us on our other podcast, But Really Though, a conspiracy theory podcast where we try to pass opinion as fact and see if we can get away with it.
Oh, yeah, goes up every Wednesday and is on all the same stories as this one.
Testing.
You test and record?
Testing.
Can you test the record?
Testing.
Can you test the record?
Why be great till they gotta be great?
Well, there we go. We got different things going on.
Ooh.
Going up to the 5 decibels. I think that's usually where I have it at.
I don't know what that noise is.
Let's get that centered and center. All right, try it again.
Testing. Testing.
Right up to the mic, and we got it.
Testing.
Is that how far you're going to be during
I'll
the thing?
probably be like here.
Okay.
Probably actually, let's. My butt hurts so bad.
He's going to be there.
Okay, can we push this out a little?
Yeah.
Is there anything over there? Why is this so hard? Okay.
I'll be here.
Testing. I'll be here.
Okay. May need to turn you up.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna go to I don't know the words for the song. Oh, am I the one on the top?
Yeah.
I kept looking at the bottom and I
No,
was
because that's what you usually are. But like for this purposes, you're at the top.
me are who we are.
Because you, the youth of the nation.
Oh.
All right, I think you're probably good.
Okay.
But well, let me listen back.